Hello, hello. What is up, everybody? What is happening? Finally got this scene working. Thank you. Oh shit. Wait, why didn't it turn on? I thought I'm not in my normal scene, that's why. That's why, actually. Let's do some movie magic. Transfer to screen. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. There. Good job, me. Good job, me. There we go. You know, I forgot that wouldn't work because of how I set up the scene. I forgot it wouldn't work the exact same way. But thank you for the head pats. What's up? What's up, Azul? What's up, Alex? How was your week? So how was the culmination of your week? And how was your day so far? How was your day so far, everybody? Everything's so scuffed. I'm so sorry, Jesus. It's just one of those days. It's just one of those days here. Not everyone's feeling well. You're almost sleeping. Alright, well, we'll fix that. We'll fix that. Jeez. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I was trying to decide what to read today, and then I decided I've had this book marked for a while now, and I hadn't started it yet. I was actually gonna start Alice in Wonderland. It actually might be kind of fun. So I think that's what I'm gonna start reading today. 'Cause I don't remember where I left off on the fairy tales from last time. I could always change it if I want anyway. If I really needed to. Hold on, I want to expression settings. Joy, mouth track. Okay, is that no? You're still doing the thing. Still doing the. Oh, that's why. Thunder fun. Okay, that's a little better. That's a little better. Okay, let me see. Just fixing a few things. It's one of those weeks, but still hanging out. Ah, I feel that. I feel that. It's it was a little rainy here yesterday, actually, IRL. It was a little rainy here. So a few of us weren't feeling very well because some of us have some ailments, either like our necks. For me, it's my back. For one of my family members, it's his arm. So everyone was feeling kind of not 100% yesterday. But today, it's one of those days where we're definitely just doing our best here. Definitely just doing our best here. Making the best of it. We ordered in and all that, so. Yeah, definitely just one of those days. It's one of those days, one of those weeks. It happens. Gonna do our best. Do our best, have some heals. try to heal ourselves as best as we can, I would say. Let's see here. So chicken, what? We had a Chinese actually. We had Chinese today. What's up, Vivid? How are you? How are you? See, we don't just have chicken nuggets for. We don't just have McDonald's every day, Alex. That's not how Americans work. Okay? That's every other day. Okay? It is comfy time. It is. We're doing calm times. Hopefully it's fine. This is the first time I'm trying ASMR in this room. Hopefully it's okay. I know this room is a little echoey, so hopefully it's okay. It's the American way. Listen, we don't have McDonald's for dinner. We have it for lunch. We have it for lunch and for midnight snack. That's how it works. That's how it works. My gosh. But yeah, we're gonna just have some chill times tonight. Yeah. Some chill time. Oh my god. I'm freaking sleepy. It's actually been a bit of a stressful day, so definitely looking forward to just chilling out for a bit. You put on a film that was violent, but now you might just might not watch it. That's fair. That's fair. Or you watch both and they kind of balance out. Maybe that could happen. But yeah, we're gonna read get to the window. Alice in Wonderland. I thought it might be fun. Something different actually. Oh, what's up, Deathkin? What's up, Deathkin? Ready to go back to sleep? Ready to go back to CPs. Gotta get the Nessie comfy time in. Yeah, gotta send everyone to bed. It's the day of the week. We all had a hard week. Now it's time to relax and just get some good night's sleep. Death can join me for MVP paddle. My gosh. That's funny. I'm trying to open this bottle of drink. Damn it. But yeah, hopefully the audio levels are okay. I think it should be alright. If I can just open this freaking thing. Just open it. Sweets for the sweet. No drinking. It's just a Propel. It's an electrolyte drink. It's fine. It's basically water. I'm just trying to... Alright, you know what? I guess I'll just finish my Coca-Cola. That works. Am I reading from an actual book? Nope. I'm reading from Gutenberg.org, which has all kinds of copyright-free stories and poetry and all kinds of things that anyone has access to. So, you can also just open up the website and read along, but I'll also have it on the screen. For everybody if you want to follow along or anything. New book smell cannot be beaten. That is true. Honestly, that's true. I was always when things started being digitalized, when it came to books and all that, I actually really prefer just reading regular books. I really do. I eventually started reading off like the Kindle app. I never bought an actual Kindle. I just had the app from things I bought from Amazon, just to read a couple of books. But what's it called? But I never, I don't know. I never got a lot of them. Oh, sorry, I'm like legit tired. Loop, hello. I have a very well-worn or yeah, books I really enjoy. Definitely like read the heck out of them. Hope you're doing well, Loop. We're just hanging out, having a nice comfy time. Gonna start reading shortly. Saying hi to everybody. How to turn up the volume. Yeah, it's one of those days I'm whispering. This is ASMR night, so I'm gonna try to be good, try to be quiet, try to be calm. Every other time I'm a little whack. I know, I'm a little cracked out. I understand. The OG book, I believe so. Should be. I think it's just maybe like an updated edition, but let's see. This version was printed in 1991, looks like, and it was updated last year, apparently. So, I don't know. That's what we got. So the waves sound make... Nah, it's just me smiling. That's just me. That's just me. I can turn off the expressions. What? Don't make me laugh hard. Gosh. Gosh, you're ruining it. You're ruining the immersion. Oh, shit. I screwed that up. Let me turn off simple tracking for now. There we go. Yeah, it's just me smiling all the time. What a spoiler. What a spoiler. Alright, we'll just keep it so I'm actually just talking for now. But yeah, from the creators of Puss in Boots, here's Nessie and Hood. Yep. You caught me. You caught me. Yeah, I would love to get... It's funny because I one tech upgrade I'd really love to get would be like the iPhone. But unfortunately that's just way out of budget. But like, I think my face is pretty cracked out, just like my voice, just saying. So you still... No, what? What is even happening? No smile bed. Smiles are now disallowed. Can't throw stuff. Yeah, I did turn off the redeems. We're just going to be calm, comfy, and keep everything under control. Under control. Thank you for the headpads. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Where is... I don't think I have it on this scene, actually. I should have a headpad for chat. Depending on the point of view, stuff hitting is technically ASMR. Not wrong. Not wrong. Unfortunately, a loud squeak. I mean, even if I had it on, I would turn off the sounds. Chat bat, yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll rethink the headpads for chat. Wait, where's the thingy? Here it is. There you go. There, be good, chat. Be good. Oops. Gotta unlock it. Be good, chat. Be good. Good avatars. Very good. Very good. Holy slaps. Oh my god. Yeah, it is a little noisy. It's a little distracting. We did an ASMR night where I kept it on and I just had the sound off for the redeem, but I don't know. It didn't feel right. I was like going through the VOD and I'm just like, this was a bad idea. Because then when I put them on YouTube, I'm just like, this looks really, really out of place. So I decided to just shut it off for now. Just keep it chill. Just chill times. Chill times only. Chill times only. So that's what we're gonna do today. A mod throw? What? Also, on thank you for the headpads. Thank you. On they also added it to, there's now a plugin for VTube Studio for Live 2D where you can throw stuff at folks' avatars now. Looks hilarious. Looks hilarious, honestly. It's definitely something else. It's definitely something else. The oh yeah. It's because of the way the program works, but I actually don't even have it on right now. So even if he did the thing, it's not gonna show. Cause I'm using VC phase and just it's listen. Let's not worry about the details. It's just streamer magic, okay? It's just streamer magic. Don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Don't get distracted. It's A-okay. Make sure I mute this just in case I screw this up. I did put out... I didn't update the latest tag that I have, but I did put out a new YouTube video from Thanksgiving. Whoops. I put the new YouTube video. It's it has the skit. It has the kitchen skit, and if you were here, the little song and dance MMD style video that I did. It has a bit of a lead-in and outro. So, it's a little like re-edited for YouTube just for fun, but I think it came out pretty good. So if you want to check that out later, and all that stuff, yeah, there's another YouTube up, and hopefully I'll have another like one or two things up next week too. Notifications, yeah, no problem. I usually also post it in the Discord. I have a separate role for YouTube updates. And what was the other thing? And then I usually, sometimes I put it immediately on Twitter, but not usually. I don't know, Twitter's a little weird with links. It doesn't really like them. So I feel like, I don't know, it's a little complicated with the social media algorithms. So sometimes I put them up, sometimes I don't. But Discord and here in chat is where I usually make sure that we get the word out. So that's right, stream elements. Make sure everyone gets a good hydrate in. And then we shall, why don't we get started with the reading? I debated what to read tonight. I was going through my links. I decided to start reading the Alice in Wonderland, which I've seen so many, I guess, theatrical or TV versions of it, but I don't think I've actually read the original story in its entirety. Soaked up by helping streamer with a oh no. That sucks. I know, I do a lot on Discord. I'm in like 50 million Discord, so I like emojis. It's my true power, my true Discord power. If anyone wants to talk about anything, I'll try to find a break in the story or after a chapter or anything like that. So everyone just hang out, relax, and we shall get started. So today we're going to start with Alice in Wonderland by 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝒆. Let's see, it's 12 chapters, which is interesting, at least in this one. So we're going to start with chapter 1. You streamed today for the first time in ages. That was nice. Yeah, it's easy to be disheartened sometimes, unfortunately, but it's nice to, we get that strength to pick ourselves up again. Absolutely. So it's good that she felt ready to do that, for sure. That's good. Let me see if I do this. Okay, I think it's a little easier. Okay. So we're here in chapter 1, Down the Rabbit Hole. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and of having nothing to do. Once or twice, she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. And what is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures or conversations? So she was considering in her own mind, as well as she could, for the hot day made her feel very sleepy and stupid, whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies, when suddenly a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close to her. There was nothing so very remarkable in that, nor did Alice think it was so very much out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself, oh dear, I shall be late." When she thought it over afterwards, it occurred to her that she ought to have wondered at this, but at the time it all seemed quite natural. But when the rabbit actually took a watch out of its waistcoat pocket and looked at it and then hurried on, Alice started to her feet, for it flashed across her mind that she had never before seen a rabbit with either a waistcoat pocket or a watch to take out of it, and, burning with curiosity, she ran across the field after it, and fortunately was just in time to see it pop down a large rabbit hole under the hedge. How are you, dead guy? Welcome, welcome. We just got started. In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again. The rabbit hole went straight on like a tunnel for some way, and then dipped suddenly down, so suddenly that Alice had not a moment to think about stopping herself before she found herself falling down a very deep well. Either the well was very deep, or she fell very slowly, for she had plenty of time as she went down to look about her and to wonder what was going to happen next. First, she tried to look down and make out what she was coming to, but it was too dark to see anything. Then she looked at the sides of the well and noticed that they were filled with cupboards and bookshelves. Here and there she saw maps and pictures hung upon pegs. She took down a jar from one of the shelves as she passed. It was labeled orange marmalade, but to her great disappointment, it was empty. She did not like to drop the jar for fear of killing somebody underneath, so managed to put it into one of the cupboards as she fell past it. Well, thought Alice to herself, after such a fall as this, I shall think nothing of tumbling downstairs. How brave they'll all think me at home. Why, I wouldn't say anything about it, even if I fell off the top of the house, which was very likely true. Down, down, down. Would the fall never come to an end? I wonder how many miles I've fallen by this time, she said aloud. I must be getting somewhere near the center of the earth. Let me see. That would be 4,000 miles down, I think. For, you see, Alice had learned several things of this sort in her lessons in the schoolroom, and though this was not a very good opportunity for showing off her knowledge, as there was no one to listen to her, still it was good practice to say it over. Yes, that's about the right distance. But then I wonder what latitude or longitude I've got to. Alice had no idea what latitude was, or longitude either, but thought they were nice grand words to say. Presently she began again. I wonder if I shall fall right through the earth. How funny it'll seem to come out among the people walk with their heads downward. The antipathies, I think. She was rather glad there was no one listening this time, as it didn't sound at all the right word. But I shall have to ask them what the name of the country is, you know. Please, ma'am, is this New Zealand or Australia? And she tried to curtsy as she spoke. Fancy curtsying as you're falling through the air. Do you think you could manage it? And what an ignorant little girl. She'll thank me for asking. No, it'll never do to ask. Perhaps I shall see it written up somewhere. Welcome, welcome, Vincent. It's story time today. Yeah, we got the rain outside and we're reading Alice in Wonderland. We're just getting through chapter 1 right now. Down, down, down. There was nothing else to do, so Alice soon began talking again. Dinah'll miss me very much tonight, I should think. Dinah was the cat. I hope they'll remember her saucer of milk at tea time. Dinah, my dear, I wish you were down here with me. There are no mice in the air, I'm afraid. But you might catch a bat, and that's very much like a mouse, you know. But do cats eat bats, I wonder? And here Alice began to get rather sleepy, and went on saying to herself in a dreamy sort of way, do cats eat bats? Do cats eat bats? And sometimes, do bats eat cats? For, you see, as she couldn't answer either question, it didn't much matter which way she put it. She felt that she was dozing off and had just begun to dream that she was walking hand in hand with Dinah and saying to her very earnestly, "Now, Dinah, tell me the truth. Did you ever eat a bat?" When suddenly, thump, thump, down she came upon a heap of sticks and dry leaves, and the fall was over. Alice was not a bit hurt, and she jumped up onto her feet in a moment. She looked up, but it was all dark overhead. Before her was another long passage, and the white rabbit was still in sight, hurrying down it. There was not a moment to be lost. Away went Alice like the wind, and was just in time to hear it say, as it turned a corner, "Oh, my ears and whiskers, how late it's getting." She was close behind it when she turned the corner, but the rabbit was no longer to be seen. She found herself in a long, low hall, which was lit up by a row of lamps hanging from the roof. There were doors all around the hall, but they were all locked, and when Alice had been all the way down one side and up the other, trying every door, she walked sadly down the middle, wondering how she was ever to get out again. Suddenly, she came upon a little three-legged table, all made of solid glass. There was nothing on it except a tiny golden key, and Alice's first thought was that it might belong to one of the doors of the hall. But alas, either the locks were too large or the key was too small. But at any rate, it would not open any of them. However, on the second time round, she came upon a low curtain she had not noticed before, and behind it was a little door about 15 inches high. She tried the little golden key in the lock, and to her great delight it fitted. Alice opened the door and found that it led into a small passage, not much larger than a rat hole. She knelt down and looked along the passage into the loveliest garden you ever saw. How she longed to get out of that dark hall and wander about among those beds of bright flowers and those cool fountains. But she could not even get her head through the doorway. And even if my head would go through, thought poor Alice, it would be of very little use without my shoulders. Oh, how I wish I could shut up like a telescope. I think I could, if I only knew how to begin. For, you see, so many out-of-the-way things had happened lately that Alice had begun to think that very few things indeed were really impossible. There seemed to be no use in waiting by the little door, so she went back to the table, half hoping she might find another key on it, or at any rate, a book of rules for shutting people up like telescopes. This time she found a little bottle on it, which certainly was not here before, said Alice, and round the neck of the bottle was a paper label with the words "Drink Me" beautifully printed on it in large letters. It was all very well to say "drink me," but the wise little Alice was not going to do that in a hurry. "No, I'll look first," she said, "and see whether it's marked poison or not." For she had read several nice little histories about children who had got burnt and eaten up by wild beasts and other unpleasant things, all because they would not remember the simple rules their friends had taught them, such as that a red-hot poker will burn you if you hold it too long, and that if you cut your finger very deeply with a knife, it usually bleeds. And she had never forgotten that if you drink much from a bottle marked poison, it is almost certain to disagree with you sooner or later. However, this bottle was not marked poison, so Alice ventured to taste it, and finding it very nice, it had in fact a sort of mixed flavor of cherry tart, custard, pineapple, roast turkey, toffee, and hot buttered toast. She very soon finished it off. "What a curious feeling," said Alice. "I must be shutting up like a telescope." And so it was indeed. She was now only 10 inches high, and her face brightened up at the thought that she was now the right size for going through the little door into that lovely garden. First, however, she waited for a few minutes to see if she was going to shrink any further. She felt a little nervous about this, for it might end, you know, said Alice to herself, in my going out altogether like a candle. I wonder what I should be like then. And she tried to fancy what the flame of a candle is like after the candle is blown out, for she could not remember ever having seen such a thing. After a while, finding that nothing more happened, she decided on going into the garden at once. But, alas for poor Alice, when she got to the door, she found she had forgotten the little golden key, and when she went back to the table for it, she found she could not possibly reach it. She could see it quite plainly through the glass, and she tried her best to climb up one of the legs of the table, but it was too slippery, and when she had tired herself out with trying, the poor little thing sat down and cried. "Come, there's no use in crying like that," said Alice to herself rather sharply. "I advise you to leave off this minute." She generally gave herself very good advice, though she very seldom followed it, and sometimes she scolded herself so severely as to bring tears into her eyes, and once she remembered trying to box her own ears for having cheated herself in a game of croquet she was playing against herself, for this curious child was very fond of pretending to be two people. But it's no use now, thought poor Alice, to pretend to be two people. Why, there's hardly enough of me left to make one respectable person. Soon, her eye fell on a little glass box that was lying under the table. She opened it and found in it a very small cake, on which the words, "Eat me," were beautifully marked in currants. "Well, I'll eat it," said Alice, "and if it makes me grow larger, I can reach the key, and if it makes me grow smaller, I can creep under the door. So either way, I'll get into the garden, and I don't care which happens." She ate a little bit and said anxiously to herself, "Which way? Which way?" holding her hand on the top of her head to feel which way it was growing, and she was quite surprised to find that she remained the same size. To be sure, this generally happens when one eats cake, but Alice had got so much into the way of expecting nothing but out of the way things to happen that it seemed quite dull and stupid for life to go on in the common way. So she set to work and very soon finished off the cake. Thank you for that, Pats. Thank you so much for the follow, Vincent, by the way. Welcome home. I made it to Chapter 2. Chapter 2, The Pool of Tears. I'm gonna take a quick drink. Kawaii, thank you. Thank you for that, Pat. Here we are in Chapter 2 of Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, for anyone starting to join us. Chapter 2, The Pool of Tears. "Curiouser and curiouser," cried Alice. She was so much surprised that for the moment she quite forgot how to speak good English. "Now I'm opening out like the largest telescope that ever was. Goodbye, feet." For when she looked down at her feet, they seemed to be almost out of sight. They were getting so far off. "Oh, my poor little feet. I wonder who will put on your shoes and stockings for you now, dears. I'm sure I shan't be able. I shall be a great deal too far off to trouble myself about you. You must manage the best way you can. But I must be kind to them," thought Alice. "Or perhaps they won't walk the way I want to go. Let me see. I'll give them a new pair of boots every Christmas." And she went on planning to herself how she would manage it. They must go by the carrier, she thought, and how funny it'll seem, sending presents to one's own feet, and how odd the directions will look. Alice's right foot, Esquire. Hearth rug near the fender with Alice's love. Oh dear, What nonsense I'm talking. Just then, her head struck against the roof of the hall. In fact, she was now more than 9 feet high, and she at once took up the little golden key and hurried off to the garden door. Poor Alice. It was as much as she could do, lying down on one side to look through into the garden with one eye. But to get through was more hopeless than ever. She sat down and began to cry again. "You ought to be ashamed of yourself," said Alice. "A great girl like you," she might well say this, "to go on crying in this way. Stop this moment, I tell you." But she went on all the same, shedding gallons of tears until there was a large pool all around her, about 4 inches deep and reaching half down the hall. After a time, she heard a little pattering of feet in the distance, and she hastily dried her eyes to see what was coming. It was the White Rabbit returning, splendidly dressed, with a pair of white kid gloves in one hand and a large fan in the other. He came trotting along in a great hurry, muttering to himself as he came, "Oh, the Duchess, the Duchess. Oh, won't she be savage if I've kept her waiting?" Alice felt so desperate that she was ready to ask help of anyone. So when the rabbit came near her, she began in a low, timid voice, "If you please, sir." The rabbit started violently, dropped the white kid gloves and the fan, and scurried away into the darkness as hard as he could go. Alice took up the fan and gloves, and, as the hall was very hot, she kept fanning herself all the time she went on talking. "Dear, dear, how queer everything is today, and yesterday things went on just as usual. I wonder if I've been changed in the night. Let me think. Was I the same when I got up this morning? I almost think I can remember feeling a little different. But if I'm not the same, the next question is, who in the world am I? Ah, that's the great puzzle." And she began thinking over all the children she knew that were of the same age as herself, to see if she could have been changed for any of them. "I'm sure I'm not Ada," she said, "for her hair goes in such long ringlets. And mine doesn't go in ringlets at all. And I'm sure I can't be Mabel, for I know all sorts of things. And she knows such very little. Besides, she and I'm I, and oh dear, how puzzling it all is. I'll try if I know all the things I used to know. Let me see. 4 times 5 is 12, and 4 times 6 is 13, and 4 times 7 is... Oh dear, I shall never get to 20 at that rate. However, the multiplication table doesn't signify. Let's try geography. London is the capital of Paris, and Paris is the capital of Rome. And Rome... No, that's all wrong. I'm certain I must have been changed for Mabel. I'll try and say, how doth the little... And she crossed her hands on her lap, as if she were saying lessons, and began to repeat it. But her voice sounded hoarse and strange, and the words did not come the same as they used to. How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail, and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale. How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly spread his claws, and welcome little fishies in with gently smiling jaws. I am sure those are not the right words, said poor Alice, and her eyes filled with tears again as she went on. I must be Mabel after all, and I shall have to go and live in that poky little house and have next to no toys to play with, and ever so many lessons to learn. No, I've made up my mind about it. If I am Mabel, I'll stay down here. It'll be no use putting their heads down and saying, "Come up again, dear." I shall only look up and say, "Who am I then? Tell me that first, and then if I like being that person, I'll come up. If not, I'll stay down here till I'm somebody else." But, oh dear, cried Alice with a sudden burst of tears, I do wish they would put their heads down. I am so very tired of being all alone here. As she said this, she looked down at her hands and was surprised to see that she had put on one of the rabbit's little white kid gloves while she was talking. How can I have done that? She thought. I must be growing small again. She got up and went to the table to measure herself by it, and found that, as nearly as she could guess, she was now about 2 feet high, and was going on shrinking rapidly. She soon found out that the cause of this was the fan she was holding, and she dropped it hastily, just in time to avoid shrinking away altogether. That was a narrow escape, said Alice, a good deal frightened at the sudden change, but very glad to find herself still in existence. And now for the garden. And she ran with all speed back to the little door. But alas, the little door was shut again, and the little golden key was lying on the glass table as before. And things are worse than ever, thought the poor child, for I never was so small as this before, never, and I declare it's too bad that it is. And as she said these words, her foot slipped, and in another moment, splash, and she was up to her chin in salt water. Her first idea was that she had somehow fallen into the sea, and in that case I can go back by railway, she said to herself. Alice had been to the seaside once in her life, and had come to the general conclusion that wherever you go to on the English coast, you will find a number of bathing machines in the sea, some children digging in the sand with wooden spades, then a row of lodging houses, and behind them a railway station. However, she soon made out that she was in the pool of tears which she had wept when she was 9 feet high. I wish I hadn't cried so much, said Alice, as she swam about, trying to find her way out. I shall be punished for it now, I suppose, by being drowned in my own tears. That will be a queer thing, to be sure. However, everything is queer today. Just then she heard something splashing about in the pool a little way off, and she swam nearer to make out what it was. At first, she thought it must be a walrus or hippopotamus, But then she remembered how small she was now, and she soon made out that it was only a mouse that had slipped in like herself. Would it be of any use now, thought Alice, to speak to this mouse? Everything is so out of the way down here that I should think very likely it can talk. At any rate, there's no harm in trying. So she began. "Oh, mouse, do you know the way out of this pool? I am very tired swimming about here, oh mouse." Alice thought this must be the right way of speaking to a mouse. She had never done such a thing before, but she remembered having seen in her brother's Latin grammar, a mouse, of a mouse, to a mouse, oh mouse. The mouse looked at her rather inquisitively, and seemed to her to wink with one of its little eyes, but it said nothing. "Perhaps it doesn't understand English," thought Alice. "I dare say it's a French mouse come over with William the Conqueror." For, with all her knowledge of history, Alice had no very clear notion how long ago anything had happened. So she began again, "Oui, est ma chatte," which was the first sentence in her French lesson book. The mouse gave a sudden leap out of the water and seemed to quiver all over with fright. "Oh, I beg your pardon," cried Alice hastily, afraid that she had hurt the poor animal's feelings. "I quite forgot you didn't like cats." "Not like cats," cried the mouse in a shrill, passionate voice. "Would you like cats if you were me?" "Well, perhaps not," said Alice in a soothing tone. "Don't be angry about it. And yet I wish I could show you our cat, Dina. I think you'd take a fancy to cats if you could only see her. She is such a dear, quiet thing." Alice went on, half to herself, as she swam lazily about in the pool, and she sits purring so nicely by the fire, licking her paws and washing her face, and she is such a nice, soft thing to nurse, and she's such a capital one for catching mice. "Oh, I beg your pardon," cried Alice again, for this time the mouse was bristling all over, and she felt certain it must be really offended. "We won't talk about her any more if you'd rather not." "We, indeed," cried the mouse, who was trembling down to the end of his tail. "As if I would talk on such a subject. Our family always hated cats. Nasty, low, vulgar things. Don't let me hear the name again." "I won't indeed," said Alice, in a great hurry to change the subject of conversation. Are you fond of dogs?" The mouse did not answer, so Alice went on eagerly. "There is such a nice little dog near our house I should like to show you. A little bright-eyed terrier, you know, with, oh, such long curly brown hair, and it'll fetch things when you throw them, and it'll sit up and beg for its dinner, and all sorts of things. I can't remember half of them, and it belongs to a farmer, you know, and he says it's so useful. It's worth 100 pounds. He says it kills all the rats and—" "Oh dear," cried Alice in a sorrowful tone. "I'm afraid I've offended it again," for the mouse was swimming away from her as hard as it could go, and making quite a commotion in the pool as it went. So she called softly after it, "Mouse dear, do come back again, and we won't talk about cats or dogs either, if you don't like them." When the mouse heard this, it turned round and swam slowly back to her. Its face was quite pale, with passion, Alice thought, and it said in a low, trembling voice, "Let us get to the shore, and then I'll tell you my history, and you'll understand why it is I hate cats and dogs." It was high time to go, for the pool was getting quite crowded with the birds and animals that had fallen into it. There were a duck and a dodo and a lory and an eaglet and several other curious creatures. Alice led the way, and the whole party swam to the shore. To chapter 3. Because I did the wrong thing. Chapter 3. A caucus race and a long tail. Thank you so much for the headbands. Thank you, thank you. So I'm not sure how long this book is going to be. I might just do like another chapter or two. So we shall see how long it takes us. It's been a long day over here, so but I didn't want to cancel ASMR again. Chapter 3. A caucus race and a long tail. There were indeed a queer-looking party that assembled on the bank. The birds with draggled feathers, the animals with their fur clinging close to them, and all dripping wet, cross, and uncomfortable. The first question, of course, was how to get dry again. They had a consultation about this, and after a few minutes, it seemed quite natural to Alice to find herself talking familiarly with them, as if she had known them all her life. Indeed, she had quite a long argument with the lory, who at last turned sulky and would only say, "I am older than you and must know better." And this Alice would not allow without knowing how old it was, and as the lory positively refused to tell its age, there was no more to be said. At last, the mouse, who seemed to be a person of authority among them, called out, "Sit down, all of you, and listen to me. I'll soon make you dry enough." They all sat down at once in a large ring, with the mouse in the middle. Alice kept her eyes anxiously fixed on it, for she felt sure she would catch a bad cold if she did not get dry very soon. "Ahem," said the mouse, with an important air. "Are you all ready? This is the driest thing I know. Silence all around, if you please." William the Conqueror, whose cause was favored by the Pope, was soon submitted to by the English, who wanted leaders, and had been of late much accustomed to usurpation and conquest. Edwin and Morcar, the Earls of Mercia and Northumbria. "Ah," said the lory with a shiver. "I beg your pardon," said the mouse, frowning but very politely. "Did you speak?" "Not I," said the lory hastily. "I thought you did," said the mouse. "I I proceed. Edwin and Morcar, the Earls of Mercia and Northumbria, declared for him, and even Stigand and the patriotic Archbishop of Canterbury found it advisable. Found what? Said the dog. Found it, the mouse replied rather coarsely. Of course you know what it means. I know what it means well enough. When I find a thing, said the duck, it's generally a frog or a worm. The question is, what did the Archbishop find? The mouse did not notice this question, but hurriedly went on. Found it advisable to go with Edgar Atheling to meet William and offer him the crown. William's conduct at first was moderate, but the insolence of his Normans. How are you getting on now, my dear? It continued, turning to Alice as it spoke. As wet as ever, said Alice in a melancholy tone. It doesn't seem to dry me at all. In that case, said the dodo solemnly, rising to its feet, I move that the meeting adjourn for the immediate adoption of more energetic remedies. Speak English, said the eaglet. I don't know the meaning of half those long words, and what's more, I don't believe you do either. And the eaglet bent down its head to hide a smile. Some of the other birds tittered audibly. What I was going to say, said the dodo in an offended tone, was that the best thing to get astride would be a caucus race. What is a caucus race? Said Alice. Not that she wanted much to know, but the dodo had paused as if it thought that somebody ought to speak, and no one else seemed inclined to say anything. Why, said the dodo, the best way to explain it is to do it. And, as you might like to try the thing yourself some winter day, I will tell you how the dodo managed it. First, it marked out a race course in a sort of circle. The exact shape doesn't matter, it said. And then all the party were placed along the course, here and there. There was no 1, 2, 3, and away, but they began running when they liked and left off when they liked, so that it was not easy to know when the race was over. However, when they had been running half an hour or so and were quite dry again, the dodo suddenly called out, "The race is over," and they all crowded round it, panting and asking, "But who has won?" This question the dodo could not answer without a great deal of thought, and it sat for a long time with one finger pressed upon its forehead, the position in which you usually see Shakespeare in the pictures of him, while the rest waited in silence. At last the dodo said, "Everybody has won, and all must have prizes." "But who is to give the prizes?" quite a chorus of voices asked. "Why, she, of course," said the dodo, pointing to Alice with one finger, and the whole party at once crowded round her, calling out in a confused way, "Prizes! Prizes!" Alice had no idea what to do, and in despair she put her hand in her pocket and pulled out a box of comfits. Luckily, the salt water had not got into it. and handed them round as prizes. It was exactly one apiece all around. But she must have a prize herself, you know, said the mouse. Of course, the dodo replied very gravely. What else have you got in your pocket? He went on, turning to Alice. Only a thimble, said Alice sadly. Hand it over here, said the dodo. Then they all crowded round her once more, while the dodo solemnly presented the thimble, saying, We beg your acceptance of this elegant thimble. And when it had finished this short speech, they all cheered. Alice thought the whole thing very absurd, but they all looked so grave that she did not dare to laugh, and as she could not think of anything to say, she simply bowed and took the thimble, looking as solemn as she could. The next thing was to eat the comfits. This caused some noise and confusion, as the large birds complained that they could not taste theirs, and the small ones choked and had to be patted on the back. However, it was over at last, and they sat down again in a ring and begged the mouse to tell them something more. You promised to tell me your history, you know, said Alice, and why it is you hate C and D, she added in a whisper, half afraid that it would be offended again. Mine is a long and a sad tale, said the mouse, turning to Alice and sighing. It is a long tale, certainly, said Alice, looking down with wonder at the mouse's tail. But why do you call it sad? And she kept on puzzling about it while the mouse was speaking, so that her idea of the tale was something like this. Fury said to a mouse that he met in the house, Let us both go to law, I will prosecute you. Come, I'll take no denial, we must have a trial, for really this morning I've nothing to do. Said the mouse to the cur, Such a trial, dear sir, with no jury or judge, would be wasting our breath. I'll be judge, I'll be jury, said cunning old Fury. I'll try the whole cause and condemn you to death. You are not attending, said the mouse to Alice severely. What are you thinking of? I beg your pardon, said Alice very humbly. You had got to the 5th bent, I think? I had not, cried the mouse, sharply and very angrily. A knot, said Alice, always ready to make herself useful and looking anxiously about her. Oh, do help me to undo it. I shall do nothing of the sort, said the mouse, getting up and walking away. You insult me by talking such nonsense. I didn't mean it, pleaded poor Alice. But you're so easily offended, you know. The mouse only growled in reply. Please come back and finish your story, Alice called after it, and the others all joined in chorus. Yes, please do. But the mouse only shook its head impatiently and walked a little quicker. What a pity it wouldn't stay, sighed the Lory, as soon as it was quite out of sight. And an old crab took the opportunity of saying to her daughter, Ah, my dear, let this be a lesson to you, never to lose your temper. Hold your tongue, Ma, said the young crab, a little snappishly. You're enough to try the patience of an oyster. I wish I had our Dina here. I know I do, said Alice aloud, addressing nobody in particular. She'd soon fetch it back. And who is Dina, if I might venture to ask the question, said the Lorry. Alice replied eagerly, for she was always ready to talk about her pet. Dina's our cat, and she's such a capital one for catching mice. Can't think. And oh, I wish you could see her after the birds. Why, she'll eat a little bird as soon as look at it. This speech caused a remarkable sensation among the party. Some of the birds hurried off at once. One old magpie began wrapping itself up very carefully, remarking, I really must be getting home. The night air doesn't suit my throat. And a canary called out in a trembling voice to its children, Come away, my dears. It's high time you were all in bed. On various pretexts, they all moved off, and Alice was soon left alone. I wish I hadn't mentioned Dina, she said to herself in a melancholy tone. Nobody seems to like her down here, and I'm sure she's the best cat in the world. Oh, my dear Dina, I wonder if I shall ever see you anymore. And here poor Alice began to cry again, for she felt very lonely and low-spirited. In a little while, however, she again heard a little pattering of footsteps in the distance, and she looked up eagerly, half hoping that the mouse had changed his mind and was coming back to finish his story. I like this chapter change. I don't know, I like this chapter name. Getting good stretch in, time for a hydrate real quick. Yeah, we're gonna do one more chapter at least, and then hang out for a bit and find someone else who's doing, see if there's anybody else doing something similar. Here we are at chapter 4. The rabbit sends in a little bill. What's up, 𝗙cie? Hello. I'm doing some light reading today. Just kind of hanging out. I'm probably going to finish up this chapter and then find someone else who's hopefully doing something similar. Sometimes it's hard. I hope you're doing well. Very excited about the Valheim stuff's going on. So I'm super excited. I gotta work on that more. Okay, but yeah, we're just kind of hanging out. Just gonna have a chill night. Like I said, one more chapter, and then hopefully everyone's nice and tucked in and comfy by then. So here we are, chapter 4 in Alice in Wonderland. Heck yeah. So again, yeah, we're doing chapter 4 of Alice in Wonderland by 𝗙cie 𝗹𝗹cie. I'm actually kind of surprised by a lot of the scenes so far in the dialogue. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting because I don't think I've ever actually taken the time to read the story. I know I had a friend that had the book. I think they were doing a book report in high school, and I remember the pages that looked like the mouse's story, like the words are kind of all over the place, so it's interesting to still see it in digital form. Is this going to be a YouTube eventually? Yeah. Yeah, I will re-edit it for a YouTube more than likely. And I'll probably come back and do more of this story, either on stream or even possibly off stream. Maybe I'll just do a video of it too. I love Alice. Heck yeah, nice. Oh, cute. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I like the hat, the Mad Hatter one with the squirrel. That's hilarious. That's classic. That's so classic. But yeah. It's been kind of a tiring. Yeah, those are so cool. Those are honestly so cool. I love the little trinket. That's awesome. That's amazing. And a lot of people like the like Alice Returns and what was it, Madness of Alice games. I've never actually played them myself, but I know Dazkin enjoyed the first one. I don't remember if he did the other ones. I remember watching it, like IRL, watching a streamer, you know. But yeah, it's interesting to see the book in digital form and have very similarities with the way they are playing with the text. It's kind of fun. So let's just flubbing my words, I'm sorry. So let's get through this chapter 4. Let's do it. The rabbit sends in a little bill. Where we left off in chapter 3, all the animals left after Alice was talking about her cat, Tina. And she was hoping the mouse came back, but it turns out to be the white rabbit. It was the white rabbit, trotting slowly back again and looking anxiously about as it went, as if it had lost something, and she heard it muttering to itself, "The Duchess, the Duchess, oh my dear paws, oh my fur and whiskers, she'll get me executed, as sure as ferrets are ferrets. Where can I have dropped them, I wonder?" Alice guessed in a moment that it was looking for the fan and the pair of white kid gloves, and she very good-naturedly began hunting about for them. But they were nowhere to be seen. Everything seemed to have changed since her swim in the pool, and the great hall with the glass table and the little door had vanished completely. Thank you so much for the follow, Satisfactory. Welcome. Very soon, the rabbit noticed Alice as she went hunting about and called out to her in an angry tone, "Why, Mary Ann, what are you doing out here? Run home this moment and fetch me a pair of gloves and a fan. Quick, now." And Alice was so much frightened that she ran off at once in the direction it pointed to, without trying to explain the mistake it had made. "He took me for his housemaid," she said to herself as she ran. "How surprised he'll be when he finds out who I am. But I'd better take him his fan and gloves, that is, if I can find them." As she said this, she came upon a neat little house, on the door of which was a bright brass plate with the name W. Rabbit engraved upon it. She went in without knocking and hurriedly upstairs, in great fear lest she should meet the real Mary Ann and be turned out of the house before she had found the fan and gloves. Thank you so much for the headpads, guy. Thank you. "How queer it seems," Alice said to herself, "to be going messages for a rabbit. I suppose Dinah'll be sending me on messages next. And she began fancying the sort of thing that would happen. Miss Alice, come here directly and get ready for your walk. Coming in a moment, nurse. But I've got to see that the mouse doesn't get out. Only, I don't think, Alice went on, that they'd let Tina stop in the house if it had been ordering people about like that. By this time, she had found her way into a tidy little room with a table in the window, and on it, as she had hoped, a fan and 2 or 3 pairs of tiny white kid gloves. She took up the fan and a pair of the gloves and was just going to leave the room when her eye fell upon a little bottle that stood near the looking glass. There was no label this time with the words "Drink Me," but nevertheless, she uncorked it and put it to her lips. I know something interesting is sure to happen, she said to herself, whenever I eat or drink anything. So I'll just see what this bottle does. I do hope it'll make me grow large again, for really, I'm quite tired of being such a tiny little thing. It did so, indeed, and much sooner than she had expected. Before she had drunk half the bottle, she found her head pressing against the ceiling and had to stoop to save her neck from being broken. She hastily put down the bottle, saying to herself, "That's quite enough. I hope I shan't grow any more. As it is, I can't get out at the door. I do wish I hadn't drunk quite so much." Alas, it was too late to wish that. She went on growing and growing, and very soon had to kneel down on the floor. In another minute, there was not even room for this, and she tried the effect of lying down with one elbow against the door and the other arm curled round her head. Still, she went on growing, and as a last resource, she put one arm out of the window and one foot up the chimney and said to herself, "Now I can do no more whatever happens. What will become of me?" Luckily for Alice, the little magic bottle had now had its full effect, and she grew no larger. Still, it was very uncomfortable, and as there seemed to be no sort of chance of her ever getting out of the room again, no wonder she felt unhappy. It was much pleasanter at home, thought poor Alice, when one wasn't always growing larger and smaller and being ordered about by mice and rabbits. I almost wish I hadn't gone down that rabbit hole. And yet, it's rather curious, this sort of life. I do wonder what can have happened to me. When I used to read fairy tales, I fancied that kind of thing never happened. And now, here I am in the middle of one. There ought to be a book written about me. That there ought. And when I grow up, I'll write one. But I'm grown up now, she added in a sorrowful tone. At least there's no room to grow up anymore here. But then, thought Alice, shall I never get any older than I am now? That'll be a comfort. One way, never to be an old woman, but then always to have lessons to learn. Oh, I shouldn't like that. Oh, you foolish Alice, she answered herself. How can you learn lessons in here? Why, there's hardly room for you, and no room at all for any lesson books. And so she went on, taking first one side and then the other, and making quite a conversation of it all together. But after a few minutes, she heard a voice outside and stopped to listen. Marianne, Marianne, said the voice, fetch me my gloves this moment. And then came a little pattering of feet on the stairs. Alice knew it was the rabbit coming to look for her, and she trembled till she shook the house, quite forgetting that she was now about 1,000 times as large as the rabbit, and had no reason to be afraid of it. Presently, the rabbit came up to the door and tried to open it, but as the door opened inwards, and Alice's elbow was pressed hard against it, that attempt proved a failure. Alice heard it say to itself, "Then I'll go round and get in at the window." "That you won't," thought Alice. And after waiting till she fancied she'd heard the rabbit just under the window, she suddenly spread out her hand and made a snatch in the air. She did not get hold of anything, but she heard a little shriek and a fall and a crash of broken glass, from which she concluded that it was just possible it had fallen into a cucumber frame or something of the sort. Next came an angry voice, the rabbit's. "Pat, Pat, where are you?" And then a voice she had never heard before. "Sure then, I'm here, digging for apples, Your Honor." "Digging for apples indeed," said the rabbit angrily. "Here, come and help me get out of this." Sounds of more broken glass. "Now, tell me, Pat, what's that in the window?" Sure, it's an arm, Your Honor." He pronounced it arm. "An arm, you goose. Whoever saw one that size? Why, it fills the whole window." "Sure it does, Your Honor, but it's an arm for all that." "Well, it's got no business there at any rate. Go and take it away." There was a long silence after this, and Alice could only hear whispers now and then, such as, "Sure, I don't like it, Your Honor, at all, at all. Do as I tell you, you coward." And at last she spread out her hand again and made another snatch in the air. This time there were 2 little shrieks, and more sounds of broken glass. What a number of cucumber frames there must be, thought Alice. I wonder what they'll do next. As for pulling me out of the window, I only wish they could. I'm sure I don't want to stay in here any longer. Thank you so much for the follow, Camustro. Welcome, welcome. She waited for some time without hearing anything more. At last came a rumbling of little cartwheels and the sound of a good many voices all talking together. She made out the words, "Where's the other ladder? Why, I hadn't to bring but one. Bill's got the other. Bill, fetch it here, lad. Here, put 'em up at this corner. No, tie 'em together first. They don't reach half high enough yet. Oh, they'll do well enough. Don't be particular. Here, Bill, catch hold of this rope. Will the roof bear? Mind that loose slate. Oh, it's coming down. Heads below. Crash. Now, who did that? It was Bill, I fancy. Who's to go down the chimney? Nay, I shan't. You do it. That I won't, then. Bill's to go down. Here, Bill, the master says you're to go down the chimney. Oh, so Bill's got to go come down the chimney, has he? Said Alice to herself. Shy. They seem to put everything upon Bill. I wouldn't be in Bill's place for a good deal. This fireplace is narrow, to be sure, but I think I can kick a little. She drew her foot as far down the chimney as she could and waited till she heard a little animal. She couldn't guess what sort it was, scratching and scrambling about in the chimney close above her. Then, saying to herself, "This is Bill," she gave one sharp kick and waited to see what would happen next. The first thing she heard was a general chorus of, "There goes Bill." Then the rabbit's voice, a long, "Catch him, you by the hedge." Then silence, and then another confusion of voices. Hold up his head. Randy now, don't choke him. How was it, old fellow? What happened to you? Tell us all about it. Last came a little feeble, squeaking voice. That's Bill, thought Alice. Well, I hardly know. No more, thank ye. I'm better now. But I'm a deal too flustered to tell you. All I know is something comes at me like a jack-in-the-box, and up I goes like a skyrocket. So you did, old fellow, said the others. We must burn the house down, said the rabbit's voice, and Alice called out as loud as she could, If you do, I'll set Dina at you. There was a dead silence instantly, and Alice thought to herself, I wonder what they will do next, and if they had any sense, they'd take the roof off. After a minute or two, they began moving about again, and Alice heard the rabbit say, A barrowful will do to begin with. A barrowful of what? Thought Alice. But she had not long to doubt, for the next moment a shower of little pebbles came rattling in at the window, and some of them hit her in the face. I'll put a stop to this, she said to herself, and shouted out, You'd better not do that again, which produced another dead silence. Alice noticed with some surprise that the pebbles were all turning into little cakes as they lay on the floor, and a bright idea came into her head. If I eat one of these cakes, she thought, it's sure to make some change in my size, and as it can't possibly make me larger, it must make me smaller, I suppose. So she swallowed one of the cakes, and was delighted to find that she began shrinking directly. As soon as she was small enough to get through the door, she ran out of the house and found quite a crowd of little animals and birds waiting outside. The poor little lizard, Bill, was in the middle, being held up by 2 guinea pigs, who were giving it something out of a bottle. They all made a rush at Alice the moment she appeared, but she ran off as hard as she could, and soon found herself safe in a thick wood. The first thing I've got to do, said Alice to herself, as she wandered about in the wood, is to grow to my right size again, and the second thing is to find my way into that lovely garden. I think that will be the best plan. It sounded an excellent plan, no doubt, and very neatly and simply arranged. The only difficulty was that she had not the smallest idea how to set about it, and while she was peering about anxiously among the trees, a little sharp bark just over her head made her look up in a great hurry. An enormous puppy was looking down at her with large, round eyes, and feebly stretching out one paw, trying to touch her. "Poor little thing," said Alice in a coaxing tone, and she tried hard to whistle to it. But she was terribly frightened all the time at the thought that it might be hungry, in which case it would be very likely to eat her up, in spite of all her coaxing. Hardly knowing what she did, she picked up a little bit of stick and held it out to the puppy, whereupon the puppy jumped into the air off all its feet at once with a yelp of delight, and rushed at the stick and made believe to worry about it. Then Alice dodged behind a great thistle to keep herself from being run over, and the moment she appeared on the other side, the puppy made another rush at the stick and tumbled head over heels in its hurry to get hold of it. Then Alice, thinking it was very like having a game of play with a cart horse and expecting every moment to be trampled under its feet, ran round the thistle again. Then the puppy began a series of short charges at the stick, running a very little way forwards each time and a long way back, and barking hoarsely all the while, till at last it sat down a good way off, panting, with its tongue hanging out of its mouth and its great eyes half shut. This seemed to Alice a good opportunity for making her escape, so she set off at once and ran till she was quite tired and out of breath, until the puppy's bark sounded quite faint in the distance. "And yet, what a dear little puppy it was," said Alice, as she leant against a buttercup to rest herself, and fanned herself with one of the leaves. "I should have liked teaching it tricks very much, if only I'd been the right size to do it. Oh dear, I'd nearly forgotten that I've got to grow up again. Let me see, how is it to be managed? I suppose I ought to eat or drink something or other. But the great question is, what?" The great question certainly was, what? Alice looked all around her at the flowers and the blades of grass, but she did not see anything that looked like the right thing to eat or drink under the circumstances. There was a large mushroom growing near her, about the same height as herself, and when she had looked under it, and on both sides of it, and behind it, it occurred to her that she might as well look and see what was on top of it. She stretched herself up on tiptoe and peeped over the edge of the mushroom, and her eyes immediately met those of a large caterpillar that was sitting on the top with its arms folded, quietly smoking a long hookah and taking not the smallest notice of her or of anything else. So we finished chapter 4 of Alice in Wonderland for now. Made to chapter 5. Made it to chapter 5. Which, I'll decide when I want to do this again, or like I said, maybe I'll do it as a video. Nawu, what's up? How are you? How are you? How are you? Yeah, so many head pads. I only have one arm. What the heck? What the heck? Such a nice little story time. Yeah, I like doing story time. I like doing story time now and then. I was doing like a weekly reading or chill out time back in the summer, but it's been busy since then. You're great. Heck yeah, heck yeah. I'm tired. I'm actually quite tired today. So we're just gonna hang out for a bit, but I'm gonna start already looking for someone to raid. I'm actually very tired. I'm a little unfocused, to be honest. So I'm gonna not push it today. We're gonna not push it today. But yeah, it's been a little bit of a tiring day here. Thank you. Damn, everyone's so nice. Feels good, man. Feels good, man. I have an idea of who to raid if they're on, but I'm not sure if they're on yet. Doesn't seem like it, unfortunately. Doesn't seem like it. I'm gonna check Discord real quick, actually. Oh, maybe I got the schedule. Oh no, they're gonna start. Okay, they're gonna start in a little bit, actually. Yeah, I did turn off Bully. It's not comfy. Bully isn't comfy. Not much in a mood to bully. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. But yeah, let's hang out for a little bit. Someone I know is probably gonna do ASMR shortly. So we'll just hang out for a little bit. For the time being. I'm not like in a rush, but I'm just like, it's basically how I feel. So there are things that Naru know. It doesn't mean bully each other. Is there an emote for like a ball or something? Oh, there's like a football. It's like a football. How could you, let's see. During last stream, oh no. No, but I'm glad you're doing well today, Naru. That's great, great news. So I actually have your, yeah. Damn. All these cute emotes, holy heck, Naru. Let's see here. We'll do that. That works. Is there a football at any streamer? This is our made up throwing game. Let's see, what could I use for myself? Oh, this is perfect. It's like, oh no. Just having fun with emotes time. This is it. This is having fun with emotes time. That's right. I think it's the best choice, right? Wow. Okay, I see how it is. At least emotes are cheaper. You can save your points. Also, it's also not on today because we're doing ASMR. It also wouldn't be comfy. Oh my fucking god, Naru. What have I done? Then I'll redo that. Okay. Holy heck, that's hilarious. Actually that's pretty funny. Oh no, I'm being hit. Oh no. Some next level plays. Just use emotes, 5-head. Next level plays happening. What was I even saying? There we go. Ah, yes. See, I'm catching. We're playing catch. Aww. That's very wholesome, Naru. We're playing catch. It's totally what it looks like to me. That's hecking hilarious. That is hecking hilarious. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so for anybody that was not here on Wednesday, I'm adding a few extra things for VIPs. and technically moderators too. I still have to fix a redeem for it, but I added text-to-speech. I added TTS, which VIPs will be able to activate at any time as long as, you know, you're not a dumb and abuse it. Otherwise, that's not fun. Or it's also for bits, but it's not on today, so don't do it. Don't bother. Don't bother. But it'll be back on Monday, or like regular gaming streams and all that kind of stuff, and all that kind of shenanigans. So I actually have to put I'm gonna put a panel about it on my Twitch page and all that too. Oh no, you know what I need to do? I need to do like a command thingy. That's what I gotta do. That's what I gotta do. It's just so it makes it easier. Yeah. Yeah, coming up with the big brain ideas. I could actually maybe even just work on it now. Just hanging out. Just hanging out for a second. Yeah, because if I add a command like, let's see, like TTS or text to speech, that could work. That could work. Action. I gotta make the action mode basic. I don't know what that means. Streamer bot calling me basic, maybe. I'm gonna make an action for it. Where would it go? Probably under, yeah, chat and TTS commands. Here we go. Yeah, so I still have to figure out the command not the command version. I still have to figure out the redeem version because I'm not too sure why it's just not working. To be honest with you, not actually too certain. Let's say text to speech. I can't. This is now me typing ASMR for the time being. You're welcome. So I'm gonna have fun plans for the weekend. Is anyone doing anything comfy? Is anyone looking forward to the new Spider-Man movie? That's coming out this weekend, isn't it? There's so much like speculation and everything about the movie. I don't mind looking. I guess we won't talk about, if you've seen it, don't talk about leaks or anything like that, please. But I know, like, I don't mind leaks and information. Let's see, text to speech can be activated by VIPs and mods. They can use exclamation VIP and type their message. Anyone else can activate it with cheers of, oops, that's not how you type it, 25, one more, and, or, maybe I should put just 25 plus, or, I did want to do it on the highlight redeem, so I gotta figure that out. I think it's bugged, like I was explaining on Wednesday, because I did go to look at it. I have to actually like look more into it to see if it's actually a glitch or not. You know, because that's the thing, like when you start adding this kind of stuff, it's like, wait, it works here, but why doesn't it work over there? As we found out on Wednesday. Which Wednesday was pretty fun. I actually had a lot of fun playing Among Trees. But I think since I have gotten most of the actual current available content done, like I said, I think if I play anymore, it might just be like Discord streaming, which I was even thinking of doing like at some point soon again. It might just be random. I'm trying to get into the habit of it. I don't know. I'm a lot more shy than you think I am. So, with the Now I'm just gonna say TTS. And when active ASMR streams will have them off. Okay, so I think that should work. That didn't work. Why? Oh, I know why. I know why. Because I'm a dum-dum. Watch me fix this. Watch me fix this real quick. Bam. Bam. It's like magic. It's like magic. Thanks, Sanctuary Helper. Thank you. What is that? Yeah, okay. That's right. Pats is just like a regular, better Twitch TV. As far as that goes. Let's see if they are. Oh my gosh, what did they do? You ever look at like someone that posts like a clip and it's like, what happened there? What's going on? I got to check that out after this. I'm hoping to make things a little more winter themed next week. There's a lot of options for assets and things coming out, which I'm pretty excited about. There's also a little song I found from 𝗙cie Syndrome that's kind of wintry and kind of cute, so. Little Red Riding. Right? I can change it too. Actually, where is it? Yeah, it is here. It is in this scene. I can make it. Ooh. I also downloaded the blue one. I like this kind of tone of blue. So it has like a, I don't know. It has like just like a teeny bit of green in it. I don't know, I feel like it's not teal, but it wants to be, and teal is a really cool color. That's right, teal is NesiVT approved. Teal. I love like pastel pinks and pastel like teals and blues. This little blue writing. It's true. It's true. Come in many forms. I come in many forms. I gotta fix the latest for that command actually. Guess I can do that now, right? I'll just keep busy for the time being. I'll be productive. We're doing ASMR productive. We're doing such a great job. There we go. Tealish, yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that teal. Like, yeah, because I put it on the bot. I think it's on my moderator chat. Oh no, it's a little more green on the screen. Okay, so I updated that. Yeah, let's get some productivity done while I'm live and I remember things. Sounds like a great idea. But yeah, I had made a new character to do for the Valheim. I set up the VRM, which I was very excited about, that it actually worked. Although I feel like, I don't know if it's because it's a Vroid, but the weapons like phase in and out. So I need to see if that's just a Vroid thing or not. I don't know if I should bring it into Unity or not. I don't know if there's anything to fix that, but it's honestly quite hilarious. And the weapons are freaking humongous on the VRM for some reason. I it's so comically large. But yeah, that I might also do like some Discord streaming and stuff. There's a setting that you can move the objects. Oh, really? Alright, I'll have to look into it. I literally just kind of followed the tutorial to a T, and that was it. I just was happy it worked, to be honest. Maybe I'll open up the local files and take a quick peek. Let's see here. I'm pretty excited about that. Let's see, browse local files. Settings? Oh, it just can't. Oh, I see. Brightness. Use the shader off. Oh, offset of the equipment position. Oh. Make the player fade out when the camera gets close. It's true, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Interesting. Oh, model scale. Model scale is 1.1. Oh, yeah, so I'll play around with this, yeah. Yeah, I can play around with text files. That's easy. Playing around with text is the easy part. Raka, how are you? Yeah, I just swapped it. I have a red one too. It's a really pretty one. Yeah, it's really nice. Let me, I gotta grab it off the Twitter. Hold on. Where is it? For a second I was like, I know I saved it. Here. Here it is for anyone else that would also like the asset. For any reason, there it is on Twitter if you want to check it out. It also comes in two other colors. Oh no, 3. I'm sorry. I lied. It also comes in like an earthy yellow, a green, and a purple, which purple's also pretty good. I got the red and the blue. I thought, yeah, it's so pretty. I like these two. I like the blue and the red because I figured it would work well, I don't know, in the scenes. I don't know. Just crazy streamer things, I suppose. It made sense at the time. Actually, oddly enough, I'm actually using a different outfit. I'm actually using a completely different outfit, and you didn't know this whole time. Anyone who stayed throughout the stream, bam, just blew your mind. My goodness. Thank you so much for the follow, Corky. Welcome home. Welcome. Hope you're having a comfy time. But yeah, I'm actually using, you know, it's funny, I've actually had this outfit since I also had the other one with the other dress, but yeah. Snuck it in, betrayed. Top 10 betrayals. Oh no. Refunding the bits and everything. Understand. Everyone confess your sins to Broomer Nun. Oh my gosh. That was not a nun outfit. What the heck? It's just a cute little star thing. How long, you asked me, how long did it take for my model? That's a hard question. So, when I originally made my Vroid OC, at the time, in the previous version of Vroid, it was a lot more difficult to make hair and all that sort of thing. So at the time, it took me 2 to 3 weeks of just tweaking forever for things. In particular, the hair. And then I had, actually, you know what? Do you like story games similar to Detroit Become Human? I haven't played Detroit Become Human, but I was thinking of getting it. Which I should have it here. Hold on. Avatar selection. Oh, maybe the original one isn't here anymore, actually. Damn, what happened to her? Damn, what happened to OG 𝗙cie? She's not even here. She just got wiped out. This was the first texture update I did after I did my model. This is, except for the like the skin textures, this is close to the original model. I did see it was on sale on Humble Bundle, yeah. Also, everybody, there's a lot of sales still going on Humble Bundle, not just Steam, if you're looking for games and all that kind of stuff. 𝗙cie killed the OG 𝗙cie, apparently. Apparently. The VRM would be on my older hard drive, I just don't have it right now. I mean, if you want to be really specific, this is the OG 𝗙cie. This is the OG 𝗙cie. This is the I search streaming only Ragnarok 𝗙cie. Actually, the hair texture wasn't this nice. It was a lot more scuffed. I updated the hair texture on this one, but this is like OG Vroid texture 𝗙cie. And then I had put, oh my god, wait, do you guys see that? On the bottom right, wait, I don't remember the code. Oh wait, there it is, holy Jesus. Alright, this isn't comfy anymore. I don't remember the hotkeys. I don't remember the hotkeys. This was when I was playing in Unity. And I added the room and all that. Did I play DFO? No? No question mark? No question mark? I don't know what that is. Your character. Yeah, when you turn on an avatar with the Unity stuff, everything is on by default. So I had the fireworks for stream raiders and this stuff. I had so much stuff. I've done so many random things. The impact of choice for what you do, aside from the time we're watching, I felt like I was watching. Yeah, I've watched like very minimal gameplay because every time I see someone playing it, I'm like, I know I'm probably gonna play this eventually. So I just, you know, I try not to spoil myself, although I know the choices matter most of all. What's this one? Oh, this one's like slightly updated textures, I think. I don't know what I did. I don't even remember. And then we came back, we had... I actually bought these skin textures because I really, really like them. So I didn't make these skin textures. The more flowy hair on the sides is from the new VRoid version. But everything else is still the same. I'm still happy with these eyes. I changed these eye textures back on my birthday stream, actually. That's when I had my glow up, which was back in February. Don't watch, I was looking around. Yeah, I basically, like, anytime a friend is playing Detroit Become Human, I just, like, 100% lurk. I super lurk. And then we had the maid outfit that I used last week, which was very convenient that VRoid had the maid outfit there, rather than I had to go look for one on booth again, because the old clothing textures aren't like one for one anymore. Maido, yeah, that's right, Maido. Maid fun, the maid fun. And then the Halloween one, which came out pretty good too. I was pretty happy when I found the teethies and got them to work. The teethies. I got them to work, but the model itself, it did take... It took easily, like, you know, not like constantly on it, but doing a lot on it. So I really don't know like an actual time, how many hours it took, just because sometimes I'll just open VRoid and just change something and no one even knows it except for me, just because I'm being particular. But the model itself, it definitely was on a work on and off for like 2 or 3 weeks. Just because I was trying to finagle the hair, and that's the funny part, is that the hair right now, the bun is still super cursed. Like it's still just fake. It's fake. And it was funny because when I was in the Valheim thing, I was like, damn, you can tell because you're looking at the top of the character. Everyone's gonna find out. So I gotta see if I can fix that in the current VRoid. I was messing around in Blender, but I was having a hard time at trying to figure out Blender back then. Because I was starting to do some Blender work early summer, and I actually have some clips of me working in Blender, but I had to pause that project. I was actually kind of stressing myself out, so I had to pause it. It's like, I'll do that later. So now I probably have the opportunity to do it again, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We shall see how it goes. Okay, perfect. Okay. But yeah, that's the start. Other than that, you know, I've worked on a lot of things on and off with the model. Like I said, I have the one with the Unity room, which that's another thing, is that now that HANA tool is updated, I kind of want to bring it back in and put the extra blend shapes again. Well, yeah, it's this one, right? Does this one have it? No. It's funny because I do try to name them. Yeah, this one has so much going on right now. This one actually has a lot of blend shapes happening. A lot of things that I can turn on and off, but I don't remember the hotkeys. Actually, hold on. Let's see. Settings, expressions. I think is it here? Smug. Oh yeah, I could do. Does it do it? Oh Jesus Christ! No. It's like, wait a second. I'm screwing this up real bad. See, Control Shift T. See, I could do blep on this one. Control Shift W. Oh, I like this one. I've always liked this one. This is one of my favorite custom expressions. Where is the room? Oh, there it is. There. Okay, now that's off. How do I do... There we go. There we go. So it's not so freaking all over the place. Oh yeah, cheek puff. Control Shift P. You can barely tell unless I go side to side, but it has, this version has all that kind of stuff. What's surprise? Oh yeah, I barely changed that though. Control Shift F2. Now that's that. It was a sound effect? Was there? I didn't hear anything. Wait, what sound effect? Am I killing the vibe? I forgot. This is also my favorite. This is my smug face. That's my other favorite thing. So I want to do that again. Yeah, I think I used to have like a thing with it, but ew, I really want to do that. Yeah, it's fun doing like that extra stuff. Actually, it's just been a while. It's been a while. Because I think I have to rebuild friggin' Deathkin's avatar again, so I have to do some Unity work soon anyway. It's just, you know, like when how do you say? I have to get into the flow, you know, gotta get into the flow of it. Alright. But it's fun doing ASMR. I'm just whispering, showing off things. That's fun. That's fun. But yeah, it's always fun to see like the new stuff, which is why I do want to do like a custom collision thing. That is something we could even make like a stream night of it, honestly. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Till then, today was actually a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to start Alice in Wonderland. It was definitely something different. You know, streamer exposed. Wait, what are you trying to say? I'm exposing myself? What am I even hiding? I didn't know I was hiding anything. That's news to me. That's crazy. That's crazy. What am I hiding? The scuff reveal. I mean, if you're not scuffed, are you even streaming? Are you even streaming? Come on. Come on now. Let's be real. Let's be real here. We'll just do the regular raid message today. We'll just do regular hug raid. You can also do the hug emote, or virtual hug is also just a global Twitch emote. Just like, wait, was that one still here? Yes, Jabase did still here. Nice. Jank Bun Bun. Oh well, I've talked about it before. It's not even like I don't even I just don't talk about it unless I'm talking about the avatars. Anytime someone talks about the avatars, I always bring it up. But we're gonna continue the ASMR vibe today. Let me make sure I have it spelled correctly. Whoops. That's always a good sign, right? When the streamer goes whoops. That's fine. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and give Nishan some love. He's doing some ASMR with triggers today. Sometimes he also does reading. He does really good reading. For Halloween, he did some really fun stuff with comics and all stuff, like these spooky comics and all that. Thanks so much for being here, Vincent. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out. As always, you can find out when I'm live off my socials. You can help support me in any one of those places. And we also have Extra Life going on if you'd like to donate. Till then, I hope everyone has an amazing weekend. Hopefully I'll see you around Discord. And hopefully, most of all, I'll see you all next time. I think the outro screen's a little loud, so I'll just fade out.